Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Chump Change. This is live and recorded. If you guys have any questions, leave it in the live chat or in the comments after the fact. Let's see who's here today, and then we'll get into SBF. His trial starts today, and there's some just some videos around we're gonna watch. And I can see you guys like the cucumber picture of Sam Bankman-Fried. I still don't understand why he sets himself up for failure and puts that picture online, but it is what it is, or allowed that picture to even happen. I just don't. Who eats a cucumber like that? Is anybody here? Any of you? Let me know in the chat, please. So what? 2007. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Rud Puts. Good to see you. Leo Lustig. We have Fudweiser in the house. Andrew Masad. Steven Cicero. Good to see you as well. Let's see. Backwards Miner. All Set Miner. Good to see you. Let's see. Overboard Tech, my man. Royce. We have Nick K. J Dub. Good to see you. Sloth Squatch. Good morning. Good morning. Sadie Sometimes. The Pirate. Good to see everybody. Mining Stacker. I haven't seen you in a minute. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. All right. Let's check out the crypto of the day, and then we will get into it. As you can see, it's red behind me. A little bit red in the market. Not too bad, though. 27,478 Bitcoin. We have Ethereum 1653. Let's see, Litecoin, 65 bucks, not too bad. BCH is $239. Let's see, we have XRP, 50 cents, BNB, 213. Everything looks pretty decent, honestly, not too bad. All right, let's check out Crypto Bubble, see what we're looking like. This is on the week. Everything's still pretty green on the week, but when we go to the day, it just turns to a sea of red. A sea of red, that's it. Rune, 10.9%. We have Thorchain. That is up 10.9%. Like I said, Comp 8.3, ARB 6 is, I'm sorry, these are down, not up. I don't know why I just said up. Down 8.3, down 6.6, ARB, that's Arbitrum. Let's see, Ape down 7.5. BSV is the only thing that's really up, and Gala 8.3. Gala's up 4.7. So I mean, actually, Caspa's up 2% today. Neat. Didn't realize that was a thing. 5 cents Caspa. Wow, Caspa's actually doing pretty well. Kind of shocked. I'm not gonna lie, I am kind of shocked. Dynex, look at Dynex. The pirate says, look at Dynex. All right, we'll check it out in a second. Damn it, threw me off. Just blinded all of you. I apologize. Fear and Greed Index looking at 50. All right, let's look at the top 10 coins by Coin Gecko over here. This is by Coin Market Cap, obviously. We have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, XRP, USDC, Lido Staked Ether, Solana, Cardano, and Dogecoin's in 10th. Look at that. Litecoin's in 15th, and we have Shiba in 18th. Trying to get that thing to pump, but it's never going to happen. All right, Dynex. Let's see. What's Dynex looking like? Dynex. Wow, it's almost $1 again. 95 cents. Hell yeah, look at that. I actually put out a video the other day. I didn't do any work. I just posted Yeti sending me a video. So let me know what you guys think about that in the chat, or if you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. It's actually quite interesting, and I'm happy to know that it's Sumitomo's not who we think he is, but nonetheless, we'll leave that for another day. All right, let's listen to this first. This is just like a 2-3 minute clip. Yeah, 2-minute clip. 2:12. Sam Bankman-Fried criminal trial begins in New York. This is today. This was posted an hour ago. I'm gonna show you guys this right here. It's a little like button. Hit that if you don't mind on this video and mine. Links in the description if you guys are interested. Let's get into this, see what they got to say.
Jury selection in the criminal trial of Sam Bankman-Fried kicks off at 9:30 a.m. in a Manhattan federal court downtown. Now, Bankman-Fried, who, remember, has been sitting in jail since August after having his bail revoked for alleged witness tampering, faces 7 criminal counts related to the implosion of the crypto empire that he built. Those charges include wire and securities fraud, as well as money laundering. What prosecutors are saying is that the former FTX chief misused billions of dollars worth of customer money for things like personal purchases, such as buying more than $200 million worth of luxury real estate in the Bahamas. The government also contends that Bankman-Fried was using these customer deposits to both cover bad bets that he made at his crypto hedge fund Alameda Research, and
he also gifted his parents $10 million. They forgot to say that.
To make $100 million in campaign contributions. All in, we're talking about more than $8 billion worth of FTX customer money that went missing. Bankman-Fried has
$8.9 billion. That is so much money to just mishandle.
Pleaded not guilty to all charges, but if convicted by a jury, he could end up in prison for more than 100 years. Frank?
Oh, he'll die.
So, Mac, what else do we know so far about the trial? Will Sam Bankman-Fried testify, or do we expect some other star witnesses?
So we're looking at a 6-week trial with prosecutors expected to take a month to make their case. We don't yet know whether Bankman-Fried will testify, but the witness roster is expected to include his top deputies at FTX and Alameda, who also used to comprise his innermost social circle. That includes Bankman-Fried's ex-girlfriend and former Alameda CEO Caroline Ellison, as well as his ex-best friend from high school math camp, Gary Wang, who co-founded FTX. Both pleaded guilty in December to multiple charges and have been cooperating with the U.S. Attorney's Office in Manhattan for months. As for Bankman-Fried's legal strategy, his lawyers have hinted at an advice of counsel defense. That's where they would say that he was following the guidance of FTX lawyers and didn't realize that what he was doing was illegal.
Bullshit.
Also worth noting, Frank, this is actually the first of 2 separate criminal cases against Sam Bankman-Fried. A second trial is slated for March 2024, and that will deal with additional charges brought after Bankman-Fried was extradited to the U.S. from the Bahamas.
Crazy. We'll shout out to CNBC for that. All right, let's check out CNBC Crypto World. Also, we're gonna be, you know what, there's a town, I believe it's a town hall or city hall in Texas that is now running Bitcoin mining machines literally in City Hall. So that's a pretty interesting video we're gonna get to. So just stay tuned for that. But first, we're gonna go into CNBC Crypto World. Like I said, talking about the Ethereum ETF that was just released yesterday. It's a futures ETF, not a spot ETF, so don't get that confused, but it's still important nonetheless. The first step in the right direction for Ethereum. And then yeah, we'll get to Altcoin Daily and then the City Hall Bitcoin mining. Let's do it, guys. Just want to show you again, so the like button, hit that right there. Appreciate you.
Today, Bitcoin climbs above the $28,000 level. Fugitive Three Arrows Capital founder Su Zhu is in custody in Singapore. And as Sam Bankman-Fried's trial kicks off this week, CNBC takes a closer look into the fall of his crypto empire.
They got him. Three Arrows Capital.
Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Kate Rooney. Crypto prices rallying to kick off October, pushing Bitcoin to its highest level in more than a month. As of noon Eastern, Bitcoin traded above $28,000. Ether, meanwhile, rose about 0.5% to $16.93, and Solana jumped more than 4% to $24. Stocks tied to crypto also moving higher, including Riot Platforms and Marathon Digital. Okay, let's talk about some of the top stories. Grayscale Investments wants to convert its Ethereum trust into an ETF. This morning, Grayscale CEO Michael Sonnenschein highlighted the move on X, formerly Twitter, writing that the crypto asset manager filed to convert the Grayscale Ethereum trust to a spot ETF. In his statement, Sonnenschein called the move, quote, an important moment to bring Ethereum even further into the U.S. regulatory perimeter. The filing follows Grayscale's court win over the SEC regarding the asset manager's proposed conversion of its Bitcoin trust into an ETF. At the same time, another asset manager, Valkyrie, wants to add Ethereum futures to its Bitcoin futures ETF. On Friday afternoon, Valkyrie announced that it backed off Ether futures purchases until the SEC ETF approval is officially effective. Other firms filed to start an Ether futures ETF include Bitwise and VanEck. Next up, crypto fugitive Su Zhu, the co-founder of the bankrupt digital asset hedge fund Three Arrows Capital, or 3AC, was arrested in Singapore while apparently trying to flee the country. On Friday, liquidators handling the bankruptcy estate of the collapsed fund said that Zhu was arrested at the airport. The Singapore courts ruled against Zhu for deliberately failing to cooperate with the investigation into creditors' claims and the implosion of the multi-billion-dollar fund. According to the financial advisory firm handling the crypto hedge fund's liquidation, Zhu and his co-founder Kyle Davies have both been sentenced to 4 months in prison. Davies is still on the run. 3AC filed for bankruptcy in mid-2022 after the plunge in crypto prices and a risky trading strategy combined to wipe out its assets and leave it unable to repay lenders. Last up,
Hold on, why are you running if it's only 4 months in prison? I know it's like it's kind of a long time, but like in the grand scheme of things, if you really did F up, that's not that long. That's not that bad.
prosecutors in the trial of Sam Bankman-Fried want a Ukrainian customer to testify remotely, and SBF does not approve. In a Saturday court filing, prosecutors asked Judge Kaplan for permission to include a witness testimony over teleconference. Customer 1 is a young male located in Ukraine who lost a substantial portion of his life savings that he had entrusted to FTX when Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022. SBF's defense said it, quote, does not consent to the remote testimony. CNBC reached out to prosecutors and SBF's defense team, but they both declined to comment. That trial is set to kick off tomorrow.
Okay,
Sticking with the trial of SBF for our main story, in a new documentary from CNBC, I spoke to insiders, customers, and investors who put their faith in FTX and Bankman-Fried before it all came crashing down. Here's a preview of that story.
So they have an entire story on their channel. I'm not gonna watch it, but this is, like she said, just a clip of it. But it was it's kind of crazy. It's sad how many people got screwed.
He had become a celebrity. There is no question. One of the richest people on the planet, and certainly one of the youngest rich people on the planet.
He was on the cover of Fortune this year being compared to Warren Buffett.
30-year-old billionaire Sam Bankman-Fried, better known as SBF, saw a meteoric rise as crypto's golden boy.
The more time I spent with Sam, the smarter I felt that he was.
My goal is to be able to donate almost everything that I make.
A seemingly altruistic billionaire looking to have a big impact.
I don't give a shit about my legacy. Like, I care about the impact that I have.
He struck me as somebody that was really trying to do something transformative.
Which is why the crypto scandal that engulfed him shocked the world.
News overnight, Sam Bankman-Fried is now in custody in the Bahamas.
His $32 billion cryptocurrency exchange, FTX, goes bankrupt in a matter of days. $8.9 billion in customer funds are missing.
I
It
thought
was worth $32 billion. That's crazy.
he was the Mark Zuckerberg of crypto. Is he now the Bernie Madoff of crypto?
Top minds on Wall Street, Silicon Valley venture capitalists, A-list celebrities, and millions of crypto traders flocked to FTX, trusting Bankman-Fried with their money.
I lost over $2 million on the FTX platform when it went down.
Now FTX customers who lost millions are sharing their stories.
It's really, really sad. Really sad. Not only how it's affected me, but how it's affected millions of people globally.
Investors who gave FTX tens of millions in capital are speaking out. So you feel betrayed?
Oh, 1,000%. I'm betrayed and disappointed.
And the former president of FTX US, who resigned less than 2 months before its collapse, tells all.
What Sam did was old-fashioned financial fraud.
So far, all anyone has from Bankman-Fried is an apology.
I'm deeply sorry about what happened.
And customers want answers.
I'd never lost that much money in that amount of time before.
This was probably one of the most scariest times, like, ever.
I am definitely pissed at SBF. This was an entrepreneur who could have done really great things.
How did it all go so spectacularly wrong?
I'm not going to revise history. I liked him and trusted him.
How could so many have been fooled?
With an entity like FTX, there were clearly glaring red flags beyond any that I'd ever seen before.
And will his customers ever get their money back?
I'm in quite a big hole right now. I'm probably going to have to file for bankruptcy.
Oh shit, that sucks. That's crazy. Well, this is the prime example as of why you guys don't keep your money on exchanges. Take it off. Put it in a whatever, any type of wallet you guys like to use. Just get a hardware wallet. That's probably the best idea. Man, it's crazy.
A stone's throw from the turquoise water and pristine beaches in the Bahamas, Sam Bankman-Fried sets up FTX headquarters in Nassau. What was the actual headquarters like?
They had 3 or 4 what effectively looked like suburban office buildings that they were conjoining. It looked like a very large trading floor, not too dissimilar to what you would see on Wall Street.
In less than 2 years, this little office park in the Bahamas becomes home to one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world, built by traders for traders.
The platform worked. It was probably the best platform out there in terms of user experience.
More than 5 million users flocked to the exchange, according to FTX, and they were trading big money.
You know, we have $10–15 billion of daily trading volume on the platform.
From Wall Street to Silicon Valley, some of the smartest money becomes desperate to get in on the action.
And he was an industry leader and a first mover in cryptocurrency exchanges. He had a big vision for the future, and he was minting money.
Investments in FTX pour in, totaling nearly $2 billion.
I think their impression was Sam was the ideal tech founder who had landed on a gold mine. He had this way of making everyone really want him to succeed. He was this person who was incredibly smart. He was ambitious.
He was well pedigreed. He had gone to MIT. His parents were Stanford University professors. He had worked at Jane Street, an organization that everybody on Wall Street respects. And so that combination of things is a pretty interesting thing.
For retail trader Sunil Kavuri, who's worked in traditional finance at Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan, hearing about these investments gave FTX major street cred.
They raised, significant amount of funds, about $900 million from Sequoia, Paradigm. I thought, okay, this is a very safe, institutionally backed exchange.
Kavuri moves millions to the exchange. Crypto enthusiast Evan Luthra does the same.
100%. I was aware about all the VCs that I invested in FTX, and that is also built a lot of trust.
Seemingly out of nowhere, Bankman-Fried and FTX start becoming the biggest names in crypto.
This is a tale as old as time to some degree. Some young, charismatic guy in Bermuda shorts with the floppy hair charmed the 20 best investors in the world.
The young billionaire crypto titan's overnight success featured in magazines and on TV.
Thanks for having me.
In the otherwise secretive world of crypto, where the owners of exchanges are camera shy, Bankman-Fried stands out, welcoming the publicity.
I would say it definitely played a little bit of a role that we knew who was actually behind FTX.
I think what really gave him credibility was the exponential profits he was making for the investors and the billions of dollars he was throwing around like monopoly money.
The co-founder of FTX is spending millions promoting the exchange with high-profile celebrity endorsement deals to bring in more and more customers.
It became an obsession.
Crazy.
More sports teams, more sports celebrities, different kinds of properties that we could put our name on.
NFL superstar Tom Brady becomes an investor and is featured in FTX commercials.
FTX is the safest and easiest way to buy and sell crypto.
Comedian Larry David stars in a Super Bowl ad that cost millions.
FTX, it's a safe and easy way to get into crypto.
I don't think so.
The marketing works.
For FTX, the first time I heard about it was on the Super Bowl ads. So I was like, oh my goodness, there's all these big name people utilizing FTX.
All the A-list names associated with FTX gives customers the impression there's been ample due diligence done on the exchange.
Did the celebrities make me feel more comfortable about using FTX? Personally, it did.
But in reality, everyone involved is gambling on the success of FTX and placing their trust in its founder.
Remember, when you're talking about a venture capitalist, you're talking about a risk taker with capital, you're going to go 1 for 10, you're going to go 1 for 15. And in that 1, you may find the Google or the Facebook. And so Sam was one of those 1 for 15 or 1 for 20.
But customers placing their faith in the exchange have much more to lose. Okay, there's a lot.
Yeah, it's super sad. I'm sure there's a lot more to it, but shout out to CNBC for that video. All right, let's get over to Altcoin Daily. He says the dumbest take on the FTX fraud, the best 60 minutes clip. I guess on 60 Minutes, actually, somebody told us in the chat yesterday that there was a 60-minute video that was really good. And I believe it's 60 minutes, right? It's an hour long. So he just rips a section out of this and kind of hates on it. So I want to see what this is all about. I haven't watched it yet, so let me know what you guys think about it. Hit that like button, guys. Appreciate you for hanging out. Let's get into it.
And he started using me as a sounding board.
For what?
For just like decisions he was making. Should I join Elon Musk in buying Twitter? Should we do this? Should we do that?
What'd you tell him?
This guy, Michael Lewis, might have just given the dumbest take I've ever heard on Sam Bankman-Fried. A couple insane things he just said. Sam Bankman-Fried, everybody knows, donated millions and millions to Joe Biden's 2020 presidential campaign.
Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys.
Not many people realize, however, that Sam Bankman-Fried was also, at that same time, talking to Donald Trump.
I did everything right and they indicted me.
Not many people realize Sam Bankman-Fried almost donated $5 billion to Donald J. Trump. But for an interesting ask, Michael Lewis is documenting the SBF trial. He was just interviewed on 60 Minutes. Check out this revelation on SBF and Trump.
One of the most shocking passages in this book, I thought, came with this revelation that Sam had looked into paying Donald Trump not to run.
That only shocks you if you don't know Sam. Sam's thinking we could pay Donald Trump not to run for president. Like, how much would it take?
Did he get an answer?
So he did get an answer. He was floated. There was a number that was kicking around, and the number that was kicking around when I was talking to Sam about this was $5 billion. Sam was not sure that number came directly from Trump.
Wait. So Sam's looking into paying Trump not to run, and he actually might not have come from Trump himself, but he actually got a price?
He got one answer, yes. The question Sam had was,
that's crazy.
Not just is $5 billion enough to pay Trump not to run, but was it legal?
Well, why didn't this happen? Why didn't you follow through?
Well, they were still having these conversations when FTX blew up. So why it didn't happen? He didn't have $5 billion anymore.
See, one comment makes me mad, though. This is just a crazy take. He says, if there hadn't been a run on customer deposits, then FTX could have just continued growing. So in that scenario, they would have just kept stealing customers' funds, and eventually they still would have collapsed, and they would have even destroyed more people.
What's your response to someone who hears this and says...
This guy seriously says that right now? That's terrible.
It's a fun story, and it's crypto in the Bahamas, but this is the oldest architecture of a financial collapse that's been going on for centuries.
This isn't a Ponzi scheme. Like, when you think of a Ponzi scheme, I don't know, Bernie Madoff. The problem is there's no real business there. The dollar coming in is being used to pay the dollar going out. And in this case, they actually had a great real business. If no one had ever cast aspersions on the business, if there hadn't been a run on customer deposits, they'd still be sitting there making tons of money.
So I'm not really...
That is ridiculous. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Because they're still, at the end of the day, misappropriating funds. They're taking your funds and they're getting spent elsewhere. That is not... What?
Sure how with it Michael is. I mean, he's a smart guy, but again,
Clearly
this
not.
is what he says SBF's worst fear is. Do you think this is SBF's worst fear?
What do you suspect his biggest fear is if he has to go to prison?
Not having the internet. Now, that sounds crazy, but I do think that if he had the internet, he could survive jail forever. Without having a constant stream of information to react to, I think he may go mad. If you gave Sam Bankman-Fried a choice, this is quite serious, of living in a $39 million penthouse in the Bahamas without the internet, or the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn with the internet, there's no question in my mind he'd take the jail.
He even thinks that SBF thinks he's innocent.
What do you guys think about that? I actually kind of believe that, because that's, yeah, I don't know, something particular about Sam. I feel like that's kind of true, actually.
He thinks he's innocent. I can tell you his state of mind 4 or 5 months ago. It's like, if you offered me plead guilty and do 6 months of house arrest, I'd still say no.
And then he thinks that Tom Brady...
What's up, guys? I'm here with my boy Sam from FTX. We're at Crypto Bahamas Conference. We're going to start the day. We're going to do some TikToks.
He looks like such a bridge troll. Look at him.
For you guys.
He thinks that Tom Brady is sad because SBF isn't a great guy.
How did Tom Brady react to this?
The first reaction was very sad. It was sadness. I clearly really liked him, and he really liked the hope that he brought. I mean, a lot of people wanted there to be a Sam. You know, there is still a Sam Bankman-Fried shaped hole in the world that now needs filling. Like, that character would be very useful.
What he represented.
What he wanted to do with the resources. And Brady was, I think, crushed, and I think as time has gone by and he ceased to get a really good explanation about what's happened, I think he's just like, he tricked me. I'm angry. I don't want to have anything to do with it anymore.
By the way, make sure you subscribe to our channel.
You know, that's probably true. I mean, Tom Brady's a good dude, so I don't doubt that at all, to be honest. What's up, DJ? Good to see you, buddy.
Money in cryptocurrency. Subscribe to our channel. Daily
hate that he says
videos.
that.
Honestly, this man's bad takes on SBF rival that of Mr. Wonderful Kevin O'Leary's takes, like his answer to this on Rand's show.
If SBF knocked on your door again and said, look, I failed in my last venture. I have a new crypto venture. I need money. Would you back him?
That's a great question. No one's asked me yet. I think we can all admit, you can love him or hate him given what's happened, but he was one of the most brilliant traders in the crypto universe.
Was he, though?
He also built one of the most robust platforms. We used FTX actively. It was a very robust platform that allowed us to get information on a compliant basis. So I really like what he built.
Would you back him?
The answer would be yes.
Seriously, Kevin O'Leary is like the king of all heels.
I'm very fortunate. My deal flow is insane. I see everything. And I have to disclose, I'm a paid spokesperson to FTX and a shareholder there too, because we mentioned them, and big advocate for Sam because he has two parents that are compliance lawyers. If there's ever a place I could be that I'm not going to get in trouble, it's going to be at FTX. So,
and the thing is, we all know that he's just trying to sell a book. He timed his book with the SBF trial. What worries me, again, is when they ask him about the book, he says another reason he's doing this is to influence the jury.
You had so much access to Sam Bankman-Fried writing this book. What ultimately is the purpose here?
I realized I had an ambition for the book. I saw it as a kind of letter to the jury. I mean, there's going to be this trial, and the lawyers are going to tell two stories. And so there's a story war going on in the courtroom, and I think neither one of those stories is as good as the story I have.
The problem is, this guy let SBF fool him and actually make him feel like he's special and he's important. Listen to this. Just listen to this and tell me how hard you cringe listening to this.
By this point, Michael Lewis and Bankman-Fried had a dynamic that went beyond author-subject.
And he started using me as a sounding board.
For what?
For just like decisions he was making. Should I join Elon Musk in buying Twitter? You know, should we do this? Should we do that?
What'd you tell him?
Mostly my answers were no, no, and no. And he would look at me and say, you're a boring grown-up.
We're going to keep you updated on this, the Sam Bankman-Fried trial, and everything cryptocurrency every step of the way. A bull market is approaching.
Shout out to Altcoin Daily for that. He's just going to talk about Bitcoin, whatever, wherever that place is. Anyways, all right, let's end this off with Mr. Crypto Zombie. Guys, hit that like button. Appreciate you for hanging out. If you guys have any questions, obviously, just at me in the chat. Patrick Murphy said something in the chat. He said the best time to sell umbrellas isn't when the sun is shining, and you're not wrong. All right, let's get into this. So again, he just does all charting stuff at the beginning. So I skipped forward a bit, and we're just going to pick it up right here. And he goes into, there's a city hall in Texas now that is mining Bitcoin, which is crazy. So we got about 20 minutes of this. Let's get into it.
We have been trending upwards. We have not been trending downwards. I mean, yes, we had this here, but then we broke it and we had the retest. And that's exactly why I said when we came down to these levels, I said, that's it, guys. That's it. We're going to move to the upside now. And everybody stayed bearish, but, you know, sucks for them, right? So, again, talking about like CryptoCon pointed out, he has the ultimate oscillator. I'm not really sure what the ultimate oscillator is, but I guess it's a signal that they use. It's an indicator that they use, and it's showing across into the bottom. Now, keep in mind that generally speaking, if you just have a look historically at this oscillator that they're referring to, it does tend to fall below this area for a little bit of time, right? And that usually does provide better opportunities.
That's kind of neat, actually.
To buy, I suppose, if you want to look at it that way. So I guess, you know, considering that we've only just hit it, this could suggest that there may be one more major pullback, maybe one more flash kind of crash that freaks everybody out, some kind of black swan event or something like that. But ultimately, I would assume that would be the last buying opportunity. So again, everybody waiting for $10,000 Bitcoin, I don't know. I don't know if you're going to get it. I mean, like Stack Hodler pointed out, if we just have a look at what happened recently with Bitcoin, you got to ask yourself, is Bitcoin actually becoming a flight to safety? I mean, look at this right here. So you have, in just the past month, you have US Treasuries down 7.8%, okay? You have gold down 5.7%. You have the S&P down 5%, and you have Bitcoin up almost 10%. So he says global sovereign debt bubble is popping. U.S. Treasuries are no longer the go-to flight for safety. The market is beginning to value the fact that Bitcoin actually protects you from the debasement and counterparty risk. He says we saw it in the banking crisis earlier this year as investors fled failing banks, right? Do you remember that? The banks were failing and Bitcoin was pumping. Think about that. Was that a coincidence? I mean, you know, once, twice, 3 times, but how many coincidences are we really having? Now that global bonds are nuking and Bitcoin is pumping, he says that other assets may continue to sell off, but people may actually finally start seeing Bitcoin for the safe haven that it is. I mean, look, even Elon Musk, look over here on X. What's a scam that's so normalized that we don't even realize it's a scam anymore? And he says fiat currency. By the way, Elon Musk, man, he's getting like super controversial, man. He's really some of the things he's saying, which I agree with him. Well, most of them, by the way.
That's kind of hysterical. Yeah, he is kind of a wild card lately on X.
Most things, but anyway, that's a side note. So, you know, and you're realizing that even these guys, these billionaires, right? Paul Tudor Jones is worth $8.1 billion. He pioneered the modern hedge fund industry, and he's still feeling pretty good about Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. You came on our air during the early part of the pandemic. I think it was trading at $8,000, $9,000 a coin. And you said, I'm in. And I think you rode it all the way up to 60 some odd $1,000. And we then rode it back down to $15,000, and we're now sitting, I think, somewhere around $27,000.
I've never sat on a horse that long, just so you know.
So what's the, you're still on the horse though?
I, from the beginning, I've always said I want to have a small allocation to it because it's a great tail event. It's the only thing that humans can't adjust the supply in. So I'm sticking with it.
Now on top of the Bitcoin ETF, the BlackRocks and all this, we also have these Ethereum ETFs. Now Van Eck has officially launched an Ethereum futures ETF. So, you know, all right, great. Nothing wonderful, right? It's the spot that we're looking for. But in even bigger news, according to Global Newswire, you had New York Stock Exchange, ARCA, filing an application with the SEC to convert Grayscale's Ethereum Trust Fund into a spot Ethereum ETF.
How awesome is that?
So now we're starting to see the Ethereum ETFs, right? Wouldn't it be crazy if they just approved everything all at once? Like all the, I don't know, that's, maybe we're living in a dream world here, but can you imagine all the Bitcoin ETFs go live, all the ETFs for Ethereum go live? That would just be crazy. And oh my God, I would just feel so bad for anybody that wasn't involved in crypto. But
I'd be shocked if that happens, actually. What do you guys think? If they approve, or when they approve the Bitcoin spot ETF, do you think the Ethereum's going to come with it the same day, or do you guys think it'll be a little bit after?
As we file to convert the Grayscale Trust into an ETF, which is the next natural step in the evolution of the product, we recognize this as an important moment that will bring Ethereum closer to the US regulatory environment. So again, guys, you know, I know this is old news. I'm not going to play all these clips. Everyone has seen these clips, but man, Gary is not looking like he's in a good place. And you're even seeing, you know, Mr. McHenry pushing back and basically saying that we're gonna have a subpoena coming your way if you are not going to cooperate.
Yeah,
You
Gary
refuse
got
to be
spanked
transparent with
right
Congress regarding your interactions with FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried. That's the investigation we started last Congress. Finally, your lack of responsiveness to this committee's legitimate oversight continues to be unacceptable. And I want to finish here. In February, the committee made multiple requests for documents to the Securities Exchange Commission. This is normal congressional oversight. Yet 7 months later, the committee has not received a single non-public document that was not part of a FOIA production. As I said, our patience is wearing thin. The SEC is not above the law, nor is it unique. Other financial regulators have routinely complied with congressional oversight. So let me be clear. I do not want to be the first chairman of this committee to issue a subpoena to the Securities Exchange Commission. And you should not want to be the first SEC chair to receive a congressional subpoena. Either we find a path forward where the SEC recognizes Congress as a co-equal branch of government and is responsive to our oversight duties, or my option is to issue a subpoena. It's time for you to consider the lasting consequences of your actions, and what that means to the Securities Exchange Commission's reputation long term. While your time in this role may be temporary, the repercussions for your actions may be permanent for the agency.
All right, guys, so here's the part of the video where it's, I want to play these clips in their entirety. Usually I would cut them up and just show you the juicy parts, but I want you to really take them in. I want you to really absorb this. Now, I'm going to set this up for a bit of context. In the other day's video, we had Joshua Jake, right? He was discussing Bitcoin mining. Now, you don't think that it just happens to be, oh, here we go, another coincidence, right? That basically Bitcoin is this terrible thing. Proof of work is destroying the electrical grid and it's sucking up all this power and it's using more energy than small countries, and proof of work is bad and no. And then all of a sudden BlackRock gets involved. And all of a sudden the narrative is changing. Now we know that they push this ESG narrative, right? how all of a sudden all the news now is good. And I'm telling you, this
crazy?
isn't a conspiracy. This is the facts. This is what they're doing. This is what they're doing, guys. Pay close attention. They are going to convince everyone now that Bitcoin is the best thing for the environment, that Bitcoin is going to use all this wasted energy. And, you know, you got to put it in your portfolio. You got to have 1% to 2%. People don't understand. I've been in these markets before we play this clip. I've been in this market for a long time. And I can tell you, when it's boring, it's effing boring. Okay? But when it takes off, I'm telling you, it happens quicker than you think. You start to curve, you start to go, and then you get that parabolic run, and the next thing you know, you can't even keep up. You can't make enough money to buy enough Bitcoin. You know, just be careful. I've seen it happen a lot of times. You know, we've had a lot of opportunity to accumulate in this range. And to everybody who's watching, 21 million Bitcoin in the world. I know Bitcoin might be this boring thing, and oh, I can make so much more money on the altcoins. Sure, maybe you can, but try to get one. I know it's hard, okay? Try to get one, because there's going to be a point in which owning one Bitcoin is going to be impossible for the average person, right? So that being said, talking about the narrative, here's the videos I wanted to play. We're going to start with number one. You have the mayor of Fort Worth, Texas saying, we want to be a city that's on the forefront of technology, and they're talking about how they're now mining Bitcoin.
The city of Fort Worth is jumping into cryptocurrency and doing it in a big way.
Yeah, they're going to mine for Bitcoin at City Hall, the first for an American city. Mayor Maddie Parker says this is a commitment to a high-tech future for the city of Fort Worth. And Fox Sports' Mason Jenkins joins us.
I want to know what they're mining with. That's what I want to know. Obviously, we're mainly a mining channel here, right? So all about Bitcoin mining, and it's crazy how the narrative did change. I do want to know. They look like S9s, but I want to know what they're actually mining over here.
Now, and you've got the pluses and the minuses and all things crypto from Fort Worth. Macy.
Absolutely. Heather and Steve learned a lot about crypto and Bitcoin today. Fort Worth, of course, getting a lot of attention after announcing that they will have 3 Bitcoin machines running in City Hall 24 hours a day for the next 6 months. Like you said, Mayor Maddie Parker says that these machines mark the city's commitment to becoming a leading hub for technology and innovation.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we are officially mining Bitcoin in the city of Fort Worth.
Fort Worth making history today as the first city in the United States to mine Bitcoin.
I love what's happening.
You imagine if they just plug them in and they think it works, and they're like, oh, wait, we're supposed to put a wallet address in there?
In the last 24 hours, people are already talking about Fort Worth that have never heard of our community before.
But even though everybody's talking about Bitcoin, not everybody understands exactly what it is.
Bitcoin is a digital currency. It exists only online.
And as TCU entrepreneurship professor Michael Sherritt explains, that digital currency or cryptocurrency is hidden in cyberspace.
The inventor put the Bitcoin out on the net, and you have to solve cryptological problems in order to find Bitcoin.
It's literally a treasure hunt, and it takes powerful, high-speed processors to do the searching.
So the computers that you use have to solve problems continuously. This is why they use up so much electricity.
For the next 6 months, 3 Bitcoin mining machines will run 24/7 in a climate-controlled data center inside of City Hall. But the city insists each one will only use the energy equivalent to a household vacuum cleaner.
It's an
I
incredible...
want to know how that's true. I want to know what they're using. A household vacuum cleaner. How much wattage is that? Does anybody know how much a household vacuum uses? Is it like 500 watts maybe? I don't know. I'm going to have to check later because I'm very, very curious to know what they're mining with.
Incredibly innovative thing to do. There's no question about that.
Sherritt says in alternative...
Is 1200 said backwards miner? Get the fuck out of here. No way. Are you for real? Tell me that's not true. Is it really that much? Holy shit.
Pool of currency may come in handy for the city during a disaster or an emergency.
It could be used as a hedge if there's another pandemic, for instance, and sales taxes fall. They could use it as a hedge to pay for, city services and that sort of thing.
Looking ahead, Sherritt says mining Bitcoin may also be a way to create more equity for Fort Worth residents.
Moving on to the great state of Nebraska, we have Public Power District testifying about Bitcoin mining in the U.S. Senate. They said that it helps rural communities. The head of the economic development says that Bitcoin mining lowers property taxes and helps build more renewable energy.
In Nebraska,
real quick, I am going to, after this stream, I'm going to post a short. I'm going to go grab my vacuum upstairs. I'm going to plug it into a meter. I want to see what it is. So take bets. I wonder what it's going to come out to. I want to know. That's crazy if it's really 1,200 watts. I would be stunned.
Like most other states, electric utilities, regardless of type, have exclusive retail service areas, which include an obligation to serve all customers under just, fair, and reasonable rates. We cannot refuse customers based on the business they may operate. We generally must serve all electric loads agreeing to meet applicable terms of service. And just as every generation source has its benefits and challenges, so does each type of customer load. Historically, steady electric demand from a customer resulted in the most efficient use of electric infrastructure and a lower cost per unit of electricity for those customers. Today, the variability of generation from an increasing amount of renewables, as well as other considerations, is allowing for opportunities for new tools to be implemented to manage generation and loads, including innovative rate designs and demand response. In our predominantly non-metro and rural service areas, diversification of businesses and economic growth is critical as these areas continue to see population declines. In fact, local leaders have been very receptive to crypto mining facilities as they've seen the potential for significant economic development benefits for their communities. An economic impact study performed for a crypto mining project in Nebraska showed over a $65 million economic impact on Nebraska's economy, nearly 200 associated and direct and indirect jobs, and $5.5 million in tax revenue. In rural areas, these economic benefits can be significant. The projects we've seen have an average wage of $60,000 per job, higher than our median household income. Unlike traditional hyperscale data centers, which often need to locate in metro areas for workforce and redundant fiber needs, these type of crypto operations are more suited for rural areas because of smaller workforce requirements, less stringent redundant fiber requirements, and although the number of jobs is smaller, again, these good paying opportunities can have significant impact in a rural area. These types of projects can also be more flexible with respect to siting and often seek locations where there's existing excess or unused transmission capacity. They also have very high capacity load factors, running nearly 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which is actually a benefit for load serving entities. And the load can be very flexible. They often seek interruptible rates and can quickly drop loads, which has been proven to be helpful during local storm damage related events and even larger scale grid events where transmission or generation might be insufficient to serve load.
And finally, this is outside of the US, but we have a company from the Netherlands that is actually growing flowers using sustainable energy and the recycled warmth produced by the Bitcoin miners. And
how insane is this? Did you guys see this at all? Dude, he's gonna play the clip. This is unreal. This is like literally turning the narrative upside down. It's like Bitcoin mining now is green all of a sudden.
I'm just gonna throw it out there.
It's crazy.
A little bit of irony. They're growing tulips, tulip mania. Okay, play the clip.
Fucking nuts. Look at this. Look at this shit. Just Bitcoin miners heating the place. It's amazing. Heat-generated cryptocurrency servers warm this giant greenhouse. Like, what? This is so
all the
awesome.
energy we use for the Bitcoin mining is with solar energy, and we save on the gas use. In a sense, we think we are going to save a lot of gas by using this solution for heating our greenhouse.
I want to know how much solar they have, because it must be in a crazy amount if they're running like S19s or something.
Yeah, so Bitcoin miners, they produce a lot of heat. So you have a delta of approximately 20 degrees Celsius between the temperature that goes into the miner and that comes out of the miner. And that's because the processors in this computer are constantly trying to guess a random number, and that produces some heat.
Oh, what is it? Oh, I missed it. What is it? I'm trying to see what the miner is they got. No, back a little bit. It says S19. S19A Pro, is that what that says? Is there an S19A? I think that's what it says. It's hard to read, but I'm pretty positive. Yeah, that's super hard to read. They're in S19A. Let me see.
Yeah, so this operation is actually carbon negative, as is all the operations I basically build. So we reduce natural gas and we use renewable electricity, which means it's better for the environment. So we're actually improving the environment instead of the other way around.
All right, so here it is, S19A. This is what they're running, I guess. No. S19A Pro. I want to know the specs on it, though. What are the specs on it? Does anybody know? Let me know in the chat. I'm going to keep looking while this is playing. It's wild. That's so crazy to me. I think it's amazing, though. Just to, like, think everybody shits on, you know, mining.
And some growers have decided, because of the increase in gas prices, to stop growing this year and see what happens next year. And in some cases, it led to bankruptcy. Yeah. The most important thing we get out of it is we save on natural gas. That's for us the most important reason to have Bitcoin miners in our greenhouse. And secondly, well, we earn Bitcoin by running them in the greenhouse.
So it's just crazy. It's crazy how the
it's a double earning for them, which is awesome. So Patrick Murphy said it's 3250 for wattage and it's 110 terahashes. Crazy.
Narrative is shifting. And yeah, like I said, currently looking at some of the structure, you know, unfortunately we are still putting in a lower high right here. So we can't be getting crazy excited just yet. But the fact that we have averted the flip on the ribbon, in my opinion, in the short term, this is actually good for Bitcoin. And, you know, just going back over here, is Bitcoin actually starting to become the flight from safety as you're seeing gold, treasuries, and stocks down? So you let me know what you think. Is it just a coincidence? Where did this pump come from? Did BlackRock fat finger, you know, on the old order book, or what's going on here, guys? So that's it for me. Again, if you guys do want to trade on CoinCatch, they have no KYC.
Shout out to Crypto Zombie for all of that. That's amazing. Mr. Alvidas said, oh no, sorry, Andrew Masad said new homes should be equipped with a new Bitcoin ASIC. And you know what? That's kind of a neat idea. The only thing with that, like being a plumber, right, being in the trades, the only situation with that is like you can't just go and repair it if it breaks. You'd have to buy a new one, and then it's like you're spending, instead of, you know, spending, I'd say 10 grand on a new unit or whatever the case may be, however much a unit is, you have to now spend 20 or 30 grand, and depending on the bear market, the bull market, that shit kind of changes things, you know what I mean? So whatever. Patrick Murray said brought to you by Heatbit. Yeah, right. Actually, you know what's funny? Heatbit actually reached out to me and asked if I wanted to sell their Bitcoin heaters. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I didn't even answer them. I'm not going to, because it's such a scam. Please, guys, don't buy that shit. The S9s are what are in those Heatbit heaters. Okay, so they told me in the email, it said it was what was it? Oh, you know what? Let me just pull it up. I'll just pull it up. I'll show you guys because I don't care. Wrong button. Hold on. Hold the phone. Let me show you guys what I got. I got to take this off dark mode because it looks funny as hell. All right. So, you know what? I'm going to screenshot it. So I might freeze for like half a second. Just because I don't want to like dox this person. It's kind of a dick move. All right. So what is happening? Press the wing. Why did that not take a picture? This is what came up. This is what came up when I just took a picture. I just screenshot it and this didn't, nothing happened. All right, fuck it. I'll just show you. I don't care. You can see the email. I don't give a shit. I don't care anymore. I don't. Look at this. So, warms up to 400 square feet. Average studio or small office space. Mines 70K sats, which is Satoshis. $15 per month at 10 terahashes. Requires 400 watts, as much as a regular heater. 400 watts? How are you running an S9 at 400 watts? That's what I want to know, because I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that at all. and you're gonna make $15 per month. I'm pretty sure you're gonna be upside down on this. 10 terahashes. Is this legit? Does anybody know? Please let me know. I am not interested in this. It says, we're a big fan of your content. We'd love to collaborate with you on a new project. The Heatbit Mini. Oh, it's a Heatbit Mini. You know, maybe it'd be interesting just to get it and just not commit to anything, right? Not gonna commit to shilling it, but it would be funny to see what it was, because that would be interesting. Does anybody know? 400 watts? Yeah, I don't think it's true. I don't think it's true, to be honest. I don't think it's legit. My future bit 3 terahash takes 250 watts. Future bit. What is that? Why do I know what that is? I think I have one, don't I? Yeah, I do. Let me see. It's a little it's like a little box, right? Yeah. I think I got it from Hawk, and I don't even have it up in mining yet. I've had it for like literally a year. Future bit. Yeah, this is it. Okay, yeah, this is what I was thinking of. Let me show you guys. This right here. Future bit. That takes 250 watts. Does it really? Jeez. I gotta get this thing up and running, but I think I gotta change the the SSD inside it to get it to mine or whatever. I don't know. I've never had it set up. It'll be a first for me on that end. Let's see. I wish Hobbyist left his Heatbit ad up. Comments were funny. Yeah, I'm still shocked that he actually did that video, but each his own. 1 terabyte is required. Yeah, Andrew Masad. Yeah, you know what? Do you have it set up? You said you have it set up. It's running right now. Can you, like, is there anything special that you need to do for it? Let me know, because I'm very interested. If you could just send me a message, that'd be great, actually, in Discord or email, whatever works. All right. Good morning from Seattle. 6:10 a.m. says Golden Wolf. Good morning, buddy. Hopefully you can go back and watch some of the Sam Bankman-Fried stuff. If not, my channel links are in the description below to everybody that we have viewed here today. Shout out to all of the content creators. Let's see. Can't wait for your interview with Yeti. Yes, I got to do that, actually, probably most likely tomorrow. It's just gonna be hard with the kids, and I'm trying to work on my truck, so I gotta deal with all the sanding and all that shit while it's nice out. So I grinded my finger yesterday, so that was fun. There's a band-aid on it, whatever. Can't really see it, but yeah, that was great. Whacked out with the wire wheel. So yeah, hopefully no more injuries today. But anyways, guys, hopefully you have a great and happy Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your week at work. I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning, 8:15 ish Eastern Standard Time. What we'll do is, Yeti, we'll chat about it today. We might do a recorded. I'm not sure if it'll be recorded or live, but we'll figure it out. Probably just do a recorded video. But guys, have a good day. I'll catch you soon. Peace out.